Hi, this is Ajmal the developer, and welcome back to HTML tutorial 15 on HTML Canvas. So this tutorial is a little bit longer because we do have some grounds to cover. So we will be looking into a few different shapes, as well as all those shapes need some in-depth coding. So there will be HTML, CSS, and as well as some JavaScript involved. So without further delay, let's go ahead and start our tutorial. A few things you need to know before starting this tutorial is, first one would be, it would be ideal to have a basic knowledge of JavaScript, that is for sure. But if you don't, that is fine. I will guide you along the tutorial. Second point is that the HTML canvas element is used to draw graphics on the fly via JavaScript. So it's done by the DOM or data object modeling on your browser. So it's done on your browser. There is no backend coding involved. Third point is that the canvas element is only a container for graphics. You must use JavaScript to actually draw the graphics. And our fourth point is that Canvas has several methods for drawing paths, boxes, circles, text, and adding images. And last but not least, a canvas is a rectangular area on an HTML page. By default, a canvas has no border and no content. So keeping these important points in mind, we can actually go ahead and start our coding. So as you can see, this is an empty code editor. So as usual, we're gonna start with our boilerplate. So the way to do that is you just type an exclamation mark and press tab. So we have our boilerplate, and for the title I would just write HTML canvas, and we then move to our body. So we're gonna add a h1, and in between h1 we're gonna start with the title of this canvas. So it would be a basic empty canvas, and after the h1 we will start with the HTML for the canvas itself. So we're going to start with the canvas element, and then we're going to take advantage of some CSS. So ID equals, we're going to give it an ID of basic canvas. We're going to give it a width of 200 pixel and a height of 100, and we're also going to style it. So we'll give it a border because it doesn't have border by default, so we will give it a border of 1 pixel. Let's have it solid, and let's have this color. So that's a black color. Good thing about VS Code is that you can see the color here. As soon as you type in the code, you don't have to be guessing. So you can see the color in this little square dot. So we're gonna add our semicolon to close this tile, and as well as close the canvas itself. And in between canvas, we're gonna add a error message in case if the browser doesn't render this code, so at least they know why it didn't. And the only reason is that their browser might not be compatible. So we'll just write your browser does not support the HTML canvas tag. And this error message will only be triggered if the browser doesn't support canvas element. So other than that, we don't have to worry about it. So that's that for the empty canvas. We don't actually have to use any JavaScript for this shape because there is no special effects or special manipulation involved. So that's that for that. We're gonna draw a horizontal line across, and we'll start our next canvas. So again, we'll give the heading of 1, and we call this one canvas with a diagonal line, and give it a column. So next we'll start the element itself. So canvas, again we'll give it an ID of, we'll call this line canvas, and I will explain why we need that ID. We need it for JavaScript, so I will explain that shortly. So we'll give it a width of 200, a height of 100 again, and we'll style it as well. So we'll give it a, again, border of 1 pixel, solid, and we'll give it this color D3. We'll close this tile so it's a white color, or white color for the border, and we'll close it. And again, we're gonna add this error message in case if the browser doesn't support the canvas. So copy this and simply add it here. Okay, so that's that for tag, and now is the important part of the coding. So this will be the JavaScript code that we need to use in order to basically add some functionalities to the canvas. So script. So var, we're going to give it a variable. We'll call this variable C, or initialize it. C equals document.get element by ID that I was talking about. Open bracket and quote, and between quote we're gonna put the ID, which was line canvas. Yep. And we'll close this. So basically what this variable is doing is that it tells the machine or the computer to go to the document, which is this HTML document, and find the element that has the ID of line canvas, which is this ID, and initialize it to this variable C. So that's the whole logic behind that line of code. And next one, we're gonna have a variable of CTX, which stands for context. It's very good practice to make your variables or initialize your variables in a way that it kind of conveys some kind of meaning. So c.get context, open bracket, quote, 2D, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. So what this variable is doing is that it initializes the value of this C plus, when we put dot plus, applies this method of getContext2D. This is a HTML method for basically it's a method that has all the functionalities and the properties of Canvas embedded into this. Not to worry about this too much. It might not make sense, but I just want to kind of skim through it. That's the gist of what it does. So that's the logic behind it. And next line of code would be ctx dot move to open bracket, open quote, open bracket, and 0, 0. So what this line is doing is that it starts with the variable of ctx and then applies the method move to the ctx variable. What the move to method means that it basically tells the machine to start drawing a line from the y and x-axis of 0, so start from the beginning, both for y and x axis, and that's the whole basically rationale behind this line. And next line would be again ctx dot stroke, another method, stroked, and we won't have anything in between the brackets. So this method is basically closing the whole drawing of the canvas, and that's the whole point behind that. And that would be it. So then JavaScript, the tag is closed. So that's all the code we need for this diagonal line canvas. And we're gonna move to our next canvas. So again, we're gonna draw a horizontal line, move to the next canvas, and our again h1, and we're gonna call this canvas with a circle. I'm actually going to copy this whole block of code to make it a lot faster. And then we'll do some changes. I guess that would be the easiest way. Copy and paste. So canvas with a circle. So we're going to change the ID to circle canvas, and width would be the same, height would be the same, style border is the same, and color is also the same. So put an error message, and we need to make some code, JavaScript code change. So first we change the ID. We'll give it a circle canvas ID. Circle canvas. It's very important not to make any spelling error. Canvas. And next up, var ctx equals c dot get context 2D. So that line would stay the same, and ctx instead of move, we'll have ctx dot begin path method, and we won't have any value in between the bracket. So And next up we'll have ctx.arc, because this is a circle, so we're going to take advantage of arc method. And then we need to give it certain values to draw the shape of a circle. So that would be 90, 50, 40, 0, 2 times this math function, math.pi. If you think it's overwhelming, don't stress too much, because the whole point of this tutorial is to learn HTML and JavaScript. But if you can learn, sorry, not JavaScript, but HTML and CSS mostly. But if you learn some JavaScript along the way, that's certainly nice. So with that being said, let's move again to our coding. So after math.pi, we'll have the last line of code, which is ctx.stroke, and that closes our canvas for that shape. So we have that code saved up. We're going to paste it here again, and we will start with the canvas with a text. Can actually copy this as well, or let's not copy that. So h1, we're going to call it canvas with a text. Simple as that. And we're going to change the ID. Let's call this text canvas, self-explanatory. Canvas, text canvas, text canvas height, weight is obviously the same, and color and everything is also the same. Best way not to make any grammatical mistake is to copy and paste, because if you make a small mistake, it would make a big difference. So we need to do some code change for JavaScript. The first line stays the same as usual. Second line is var ctx.get. Context 2D is also the same, but we need to change the third line. Instead of move to, we'll have ctx.font. So we're changing the font for this one, and we won't have the bracket, but we do have the quotes. And for the value, we'll put 30 pixel Arial. Yeah, that should be good. It's complaining that there's some kind of mistake. Oh yes, ctx equals. I forgot that equal sign. So that, yeah, that's perfect. And obviously we need to have a word or something to use as a text. So for that, we'll take advantage of ctx fill text method. So fill text method, bracket, quotes, and we're gonna use the good old hello world. Hello world, comma, and we'll give it value of 10 and 50 for the font size. So that's that for our canvas with a text. So let's copy this whole block and paste it for our next canvas. And we'll change this canvas. This will be a bit different canvas because it shows effect of color, filling your canvas with color and with different color and different ways of coloring something. So linear gradient canvas. That would be our canvas, and we'll change the ID as usual to linear canvas, and let's copy this ID and paste it so that we don't make any mistake. Copy and paste it here. So linear canvas, height, width, the same, style is also the same, and also the error message. But we do need to change these, right? Absolutely. So Vorsi document stays the same. The 2D method also stays the same. So I just want to add a description here. Create gradient. And we're going to change these two lines. So CTX, or rather not CTX, but just a variable for GRD for gradient equals CTX dot create linear gradient. That's the method for creating linear gradient with these values 0, 0, 200, and 0 again, and semicolon. So next line would be gradient variable dot add color stop 0, comma, code, and this painted in red. And next line would be gradient dot add color stop again method. I will give it a value of 1, comma, and let's have it in white. Okay, so why is this one complaining red? Well, I have dot there. Should be comma. That's the beauty of Visual Studio Code text editor. It usually gives you notifications in case if there's an error. So again, another description: fill with gradient. CTX dot fill style method. Fill style method equals gradient, and last line would be CTX dot fill rectangular. Open column code, or no, we don't need a code. So we give this value of 10, 10, 150, and 80, and we'll end this line of code here. So that's that for our linear gradient, and next canvas would be actually circular gradient. It's almost the same except for it's not linear but circular. Okay, I just want to show you two different canvas of the same shape but different effects. I forgot the horizontal line. So this would be circular gradient, and we'll give an idea of circular. circular canvas. I'm going to copy this and paste it here for accuracy. And okay, so circular canvas width is the same, height is the same, its style is also the same. We do need to make some JavaScript code change. So first and second line stay the same. Third line is slightly different. Create instead of linear gradient, we'll just write radial gradient. Just create the radial gradient, and we are going to change the values. We're going to give it the values of 75, 50, 5, 90, 60, and 100. And these two lines will stay the same. And the fill with gradient would be the same first line, and second line would stay the same. Yeah, everything will stay the same, so that's perfect. So let's copy this in write our last but not least canvas, and this will be a image canvas. So this is a bit longer, but it's a bit trickier, but it is worth the effort. So we're going to call this image canvas. And we actually need to make some HTML code change as well. So we'll give it a paragraph image to use, and we actually need to add an image here. I will explain that in a bit. So we'll give the tag of image with ID of screen. That would be the name of the picture, screen. And we obviously need to link our image to this file. So this is the way to link it. Source equals image underscore d, not plus but underscore d screen dot jpg. That's the name of the image that I have saved in the same folder. And we need to add the alternative text in case if the image doesn't load for whatever reason. So we have a text to explain what happened. So alternative text will be the screen, and we also need to give it a width of 220, a height of 277, and we'll close this. And we are going to add another p tag here, canvas to fill. So we'll have a canvas ID of my canvas. Keep it simple. My canvas width would be 250. Width would be 250. Height would be 300. And style would be border 1 pixel solid, black or white, the same. will have the same error message, and most important part is the JavaScript code. Actually, I need to add a button before starting the JavaScript. We need to add a button to be able to load our JavaScript. You will see the reason why after I load the page. So the way you add a button is you first off add a tag, a p tag, and then in between the p tag you add your button. So button, we're gonna have to have a functionality to this button, obviously. So we do on click functionality. So on click equals my canvas, which is the ID. My canvas. So on click equals my canvas, and we need to have a text for this button. So we're gonna call this. Let's call this try it. So that is our button line of code, and let's move on to the script. First line is the same except for the ID. So first line is the same. Second line is also the same, but we need to change the rest. So we're gonna initialize the variable of ctx equals c dot get, or sorry, my bad, not ctx, I'm repeating myself, but we're going to initialize the variable of image, where image equals document.get element by ID again, document. So image document dot get element by ID. By ID was image, which is this. Let me double check. Or screen, yeah. ID is screen. Screen. So document.get element by ID is screen. So once we get that our image, then we need to apply this line of code. So ctx dot draw image with it, and then we need to add the image ID itself, and then we need to give it some value 10, and we're gonna end the code. So finally our code is done, and if we have done everything according to the syntax and the logic, we should have all of our canvas rendered properly. So what we're going to do is we save it and then we run it on our Chrome, and voila, moment of the truth. So we have our canvas shapes here. So first one is basic empty canvas. As you can see, it does not have any shape in between this this canvas rectangle. Actually, second one, there is a problem. Canvas with a diagonal line, it's supposed to have a line across. So why don't we go ahead and investigate what we did wrong. Actually, before doing that, let's see if we have any other mistake, but we can always go back and debug it. So canvas with a circle is perfect, and also canvas with a text is in order. Linear gradient canvas is good. You can see the color is starting from the left, goes to the right, and fades in. Although our circular gradient canvas is not working, so we have two bugs to debug. And I also see that the image shouldn't be like so, because the canvas shouldn't be filled until we click the button. So we actually have three defects. So why don't we go ahead and find what is the problem. Okay, so first thing first, the circular canvas. Let's see what is the problem with the circular canvas, or not circular but diagonal. Okay, so empty is good, diagonal. So we have canvas ID, line canvas is fine. Yeah, line canvas is fine. Width, height, border are all correct, but let's look at the script. So script var c equals document dot get element by ID, var ID, and then next line var ctx equals c dot get context 2d. Yeah, that is correct. ctx dot move to method. Oh, I see what is the problem here. We have the quote, we don't need that. So 0, 0. Oh, we are missing a whole line of code. So next one was supposed to be ctx dot line 2 method. Line 2 method, brackets, value of 2 and value of 100. And then lastly, the ctx.stroke method. So that should take care of the first defect. And our second defect was the linear or the circular gradient canvas. So text is fine, linear was fine, circular gradient. Let's see what is the problem with the circular gradient. So circular canvas, ID is fine, everything else is fine. So the problem is with the code or with the JavaScript. So first line is, this first line is fine. Second line, get context 2D is fine. Let's add some space here. Create gradient, var gradient equals ctx dot create radial gradient. Radial, oh, there's a spelling error. Radial gradient, yeah, that's fine. The values are fine. Gradient dot add color stop 0 and red, yeah, that's fine. Gradient dot add color stop 1 white is fine too. And fill with gradient part is ctx dot fill style equals gradient, yeah, that is fine. ctx dot fill rect is also good. So that is a solution for the circular gradient, and the last one was the image. Okay, so let's move on to image. So h1, the tag, image ID equals screen, yeah, that's fine. Source equals image d screen dot jtag, yeah, that is fine. So the image tag is fine. And canvas to fill, canvas ID equals my canvas, let's copy this ID. Canvas is fine, width is fine, height is fine, the style is also correct. Button, so p button on click equals my canvas. Let's type this just to be sure I use onClick equals my canvas. Yeah, that seems to be correct. I guess we can narrow it down to the JavaScript block of code. So JavaScript, oh, I see I'm missing a lot of things. So the whole function, we need to add the function my canvas, and my canvas, and then we need to add the curly bracket at the end as well. So my canvas, and then so that's the whole function. Then variable c equals document.get element by id. My canvas is fine. Variable ctx equals c.get context 2d is also fine. Variable image or variable image equals document.get element by id equals not equals but a screen, that is fine. And then last line of code ctx.draw image 1010, yeah, that's fine. So let's save this, keep our fingers crossed, and let's go to the browser and refresh, see what happens. Yes, perfect. So let's start from the beginning. Sorry about those bugs. Although we did learn something good, that you do make mistakes during your coding, and also you learn that what is the best way to debug it. So it's very important to be detail oriented. So let's go ahead again and inspect our code here. So basic empty canvas is fine. Canvas with a diagonal line. Oh, no diagonal line. Okay, so we need to debug it one more time. So circular was fine. Okay, there you go. So our circular gradient, as you can see, the edges of this color block of color or rectangular or shaded, and as you go in between it, it's like a kind of circular color is saturated, so that's what the effect is for. And lastly, the image canvas. So we have our image here, and we have our canvas to fill, which is empty. We did add the block of code and linked it to our button. So as soon as we push the button, this image should pop into the canvas. So let's go ahead and do that. Perfect, so that's good. And last bug is the canvas with a diagonal line. So there should be a line here and there isn't, so let's go ahead and debug that. Okay, canvas with a diagonal line. Let's see, what is the problem here? Canvas with a diagonal line, line canvas is fine. Line canvas width, fine. Okay, must be the script. Variable c equals document.get element by id, line canvas, and variable ctx equals c.get context 2d, that is also fine. ctx.move to 0, 0, yeah, that is fine. ctx.line to 200, 100. Oh, there you go, it's a dot. It's supposed to be a comma, not a dot. Bingo, we found the issue. So let's Control S, save that, and then go back to our browser and keep your fingers crossed. Bingo, you see our line showed up here. So a few bugs that we managed to debug, not a big deal. It's the reality of coding. As you start learning how to code and do some practice, you will come across some mistakes that sometimes it does frustrate you, but I want to let you know that not to be frustrated is very important as a coder or as a software engineer, to be very patient and have the ability to pay attention to detail, and also do as much research as you can. If you cannot debug your code on your own, you can always look up online on document, and there's plenty of help out there. So that concludes our tutorial for today. I do appreciate your time and effort, and if you can, go ahead and support this channel by liking, sharing, or even better yet, clicking the subscribe button. So thank you, and I will see you in tutorial number 16 hopefully. Have a good day.